everyone, and welcome to Podcast Group 7. I'm Jasmine.
I'm Grace.
I'm Raisling.
And today we're tackling an exciting new technology, artificial intelligence. You may have seen AI used in a number of movies over the years. Smart machines, killer robots, and even human-replacing androids. But did you know that AI has many smart business applications? Grace, why don't you start by telling us a bit about the history of AI?
Sure thing, Jasmine. So Stephen Hawking warned in 2014 that AI could end mankind. But wait, what even is AI? AI is artificial intelligence, which is the simulation of human intelligent processes by computer systems. These processes include learning, reasoning, and self-correction. In 1950, Alan Turing first proposed the philosophy of artificial intelligence, and in 1956, the term artificial intelligence first came to be named by John McCarthy, an American computer scientist. He later became known as the father of AI. AI came through its ups and downs from its first introduction, including the golden years, AI winter, and the boom. Nowadays, there are 3 stages of AI. The first is artificial narrow intelligence, or ANI. In this stage, machines do not have the ability to think. The function of this is basically to perform a set of algorithms and solve specific tasks through analysis of data. For example, Genius Go playing AlphaGo, made by Google, only can play Go. Also, Siri and Alexa are ANI. They don't have the ability to learn things. The second stage is artificial general intelligence, or AGI. Different from ANI, AGI can fix problems as if they were human beings. AGI systems are designed with the human brain as their reference. They are able to solve algorithms while also having the ability to learn and handle complicated situations. There's also a third stage in development called artificial superintelligence, or ASI. Today, ANI is highly developed and AGI is continually developing. ASI is ready to come and will replace human beings and rule the world. But AI will also lead to a number of exciting opportunities, particularly in relation to supply chain management. It's an example of a technology that is ever-growing and ever-changing and has led to some really incredible innovations. An article by Lilac Bullock titled "The Top 6 Ways That AI Will Affect Your Business in the Near Future" has some really great examples of this. Automation was an aspect discussed in the piece and the business impact that it will have. For example, autonomous vehicles will be invaluable when utilised in the supply chain, as it will reduce both transportation costs and shipping time, as there will be no drivers required to stop for breaks. Another example for automation is that high-risk industries, where workers are placed in danger every day, will no longer suffer human casualties, but rather replace workers with robots. This will improve overall efficiency for businesses and place fewer humans in harm's way. Lilac also discusses in her article about how the supply chain will become more streamlined with AI technologies such as machine learning and natural language processing. Machine learning will help in a plethora of different ways, but primarily with increasing the accuracy of demand forecasting. Just to provide an example of this is Amazon's Web Services RangeSpan, which is a cloud-based supply chain service. Of course, it has to support thousands of transactions every second, and machine learning has made this much cheaper and much more efficient by reducing the need to have on-site data centers, but rather have all of that information stored on the cloud. Whilst RangeSpan is just an example, there are other ways machine learning could be used, particularly in warehouse inventories and ensuring that products are never under or overstocked. Another important factor to discuss in regards to AI is how it will impact the final step in the supply chain, which is the consumer phase, or the customer's experience. It will benefit the consumer in countless ways, but to discuss just a few, consumers will never have to wait again with access to 24/7 chatbots and virtual assistants. They will be provided with endless personalized content, and with the real-time data that AI collects, it will allow businesses to predict the consumer's future needs and prepare for this ahead of time.
AI in social applications. I believe everyone has chatted with a chatbot when they are shopping or ordering online. They are able to answer simple questions like, "How about if I want to return my product?" These bots offer instant answers to us compared to human assistants. What's more, implementation of AI creates database of every customer and can personalize customers' experience on a deeper level. Smart home devices are becoming more and more popular in our homes. AI is used here to learn our daily behavior patterns. They can adjust their settings automatically to make our experience as frictionless as possible. For example, smart lights can change intensity and colors based on time. Recently, Amazon invested in self-driving vehicles in order to raise efficiency of goods delivering and cut business costs. In 2017, a patent from Amazon was approved. It said that based on road conditions, self-driving cars can communicate with each other and routes of the vehicles can be changed. Smart, isn't it? The nonprofit education testing services ETS uses Amazon Poly to make test taking more fair to blinds in the GRE test. The leader at ETS said that these tests are timed, so if you are a sighted test candidate, you see a countdown timer on your screen and you get prompts that pop up at 10, 5, and 3 minutes. With a glance, you always know how much time you have left. But you can't do that if you are blind. That's unfair to the blind candidates. ETS solved their challenge by creating a kind of auditory glance, a short chime that let blind test takers know that a message is coming, followed by messages letting them know how many minutes were left in the test. This simple solution levels the test-taking experience for all participants.
But while there are so many exciting developments in AI, the technology is still quite new, and there's not many laws about it yet. That means that there's almost a legal grey area in using the technologies, and that might change as we develop it further. Currently, very few countries have legislation in regards to its use, and most of this talks about self-automation and self-driving vehicles. Some countries, like Brazil and Canada, have laws about privacy of information, and businesses must follow these. Brazil has also set up trade negotiations with the UN to harness the power of AI in international trade negotiations. But because there isn't much official legislation, many countries have formed commissions to discuss the ethics of AI. In the UK, you have the AI Committee. In the EU, you have the Resolution on Robotics. And in Australia, the Human Rights Commission authored Artificial Intelligence, Governance and Leadership. The CSIRO also followed suit with a white paper suggesting 8 core principles for managing AI technologies. These include 1. Generating net benefits, 2. Minimising negative outcomes, so that means no killer robots, 3. Regulatory and legal compliance, 4. Privacy concern, 5. Fairness with no unfair discrimination, 6. Transparency, 7. Contestability, and 8. Accountability. Implementation of AI does come with risks for business, the most obvious being cybersecurity. A thorough understanding of the privacy and security impacts of AI is necessary for any business manager to understand their cyber risk. Minter-Ellison suggests that cyber resilience strategies must be in place for any business, and these would require regular testing, updating, and staff training. Essentially, you need to build a culture of cyber awareness. Most AI is currently trained through supervised learning, with human resources categorizing the data. Because the amount of data used in this application is massive, there is always a risk of human error. As the machines learn, they can learn to categorize data themselves, but this may still need auditing, as machines do not necessarily understand the order of importance in their data. AI machines also struggle to carry learned experiences from one application to another. No matter how similar they are, they need to be retaught. This can easily cost a business a lot of money in training additional models. Finding people skilled enough to train this AI technology is another consideration. As it's such a new technology, masters of the art are far and few between and need to be well compensated for their efforts. Over-resilience and over-reliance is another problem for the business, as employees can become used to the technology doing the work for them. This can lead to losses in productivity and create cognitive carelessness amongst employees. But what if something goes wrong? Artificially intelligent machines cannot be held liable for their actions, so when something does go wrong, levels of autonomy come into question. Who was at fault? Was it the user, the software developer, or the manufacturer? Finally, there's a public relations risk. People do not feel comfortable with things they don't understand, so explainability becomes a big issue. Explainability was a recommended principle in the use of AI for good reason. If anyone asks, you need to be able to explain how the data was come up with, what its solutions were, and why. Complete visibility needs to be had for trust to take place. In addition, AI technology has had a long reputation for putting people out of work. And with no work, there's no discretionary income. With no discretionary income, there's no spending. And that can majorly backfire on any business. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for giving us a listen. Tune in next time to hear us riff about another exciting technological development.